This period of instruction is going to be about the sales funnel. And just to kind of give you a thought here, I put if you want to make $150,000 a year, follow this system. It's taking people, converting people to leads, taking leads, converting them to clients, get them under contract, and then closed. There's 5 steps to this. An introduction to the sales funnel. Real estate, like any other business, it's a funnel. You start with a large group of potential leads, and then through careful process of redefining, effort, qualification, you end up with a small group of highly qualified candidates at the other end. So the best real estate agents out there, they're good at 2 things. 1, they're good at putting large numbers of people into the top of the funnel. 2, they're good at moving these folks from one stage of the funnel to the next. Give you an idea on some other business funnels. An oil refinery takes a large amount of unprocessed fossil fuels and converts it into small amounts of gas. A sports team has a large number of players for tryouts, then systematically makes cuts until the best ones are left. A real estate agent has a database of names and moves these folks from a name of people they have to a lead, to a client, to a sale. The first skill to develop to becoming a top producing agent is moving people down the sales funnel. And just to give you an idea, well, my book's over there, but this all came from a book called Sold. So here's the 5 stages of the funnel. It starts up at the top here with people. People are folks you know, like, and trust. People are folks you talk to out in public. These are just anyone that you've had a conversation with that you deem good enough to put into your CRM. And then what happens when we start lead generating, we start with these people. These are folks on your Facebook. These are folks on your phone. You're talking with them. How's life? How's the family? How's work? They ask you how work is. Hey, real estate sales has been strong. Do you know anybody who needs a realtor this year? Yeah, actually, we're thinking about buying a house later on this year. Wonderful. At that point, you enter them into your CRM, and then they become leads. What we want to do with the leads is we want to be setting appointments with these folks. There's so many realtors out there. We want to show off our knowledge and our expertise. But most importantly, we want to get something signed that states that they're going to work with us. It comes in the form of listing agreements, of buyer expectations agreements. So as we take these people we talk to and they become leads in our CRM, our goal is to get them to an appointment. My suggestion is Zoom appointments. Hey, do you got 15 minutes, later on this week for us to hop on a call? Let's say they say yeah. They become a client after they have signed an agreement. So these folks that we start talking to, our friends, our family, anyone who's interested in, let's say, buying a home. Hey, we want to get you pre-approved. We're going to put you in touch with John, our lender. We'll put you on some listing alerts. The habit I want us to create is, before we even give any of that value, is to start getting our expectation agreement signed. The buyer brokerage agreement through the MLS, it's like 3 pages long, and I've always gotten a hard time from folks to sign it because it requires a signature. Instead, I've created a 1-page expectations agreement that just requires initials. Now, I'm here to tell you, neither one of them is really worth squat, but it's a mindset thing. So these folks that we're talking to that we want to put in touch with our mortgage lender, the folks that we want to send them listing alerts, we need to have, as a part of our conversation on the first Zoom or the second meeting, we need the expectation agreement signed. They may push back. We push back as well. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, in order for me to give you 100% of my time and attention, which I'm excited to do, I just want to make sure we have an expectations agreement signed so you know what to expect from me. I know what to expect from you. You never go to an accountant or lawyer and have the services performed until there's an outline of what the relationship would be. My goal is to get us away from, rinky-dink realtors who just go and show and do whatever they want. Instead, I want us to become more respected, more professional. If we lay down this groundwork in the very beginning of the relationship, they're going to respect us much more. So we take the people, we generate the folks, we get them turned into leads. With these leads, we start having appointments with them and we convert them into clients. From there, we're showing houses, we get their home listed, we get them under contract. Once we get them under contract, of course, we have to close it in order to make the money. So this is the basic 5 stages of the funnel. Stage 1, people. We start with finding people that we can convert into leads. The process of converting people into leads is called lead generation. You will spend most of your time at this stage. Here's some stats to know. 41% of buyers used an agent who was referred to them by a friend. 12% of buyers used an agent they had previously used to buy a home. 39% of sellers used an agent who was referred to them. 27% of sellers use an agent who they had previously used. So this tells us a lot. It tells us that folks aren't loyal to the realtor who helped them buy the home. And for a lot of reasons. Average time folks are in a house is 5 to 10 years. If we're not doing our job of staying in touch with these clients, they're not going to use us. 41% and 39% who was used an agent referred to them by a friend. That's the market we're going after. When we lead generate and we talk to our people here, we're not just trying to get them to become leads. We're wanting to know who their friends are who may be looking to buy or sell a home. Last night on the airplane coming back, I was sitting next to a lawyer. And I told him I enjoy studying other people's businesses because I learn things and I can implement things, what they do, into my business. Halfway into the conversation, it dawned on me. How can real estate agents get retainers? Well, we can't. Nobody's going to pay us upfront. However, I did come up with an idea called a referral retainer. And it'll just be a cute little sheet that says, hey, I promise to refer anyone that I know looking to buy or sell real estate to Chris Hogson. Why would they want to sign something like that? Well, because we're going to give them a $10 Starbucks gift card. So this idea of a referral retainer is my approach to targeting this 41 and 39%. We all got friends, family, past clients. They have no reason to necessarily refer us other than they like us, they love us. But if we get something on paper, so that's not an official contract, but just get it into their mind that, hey, if you come across a friend, just tell them I'm in real estate. Introduce us together on a group chat. This referral retainer I'm going to create is essentially going to teach our friends, family, and past clients the most successful way to refer us. Examples of people to add into your CRM: anyone you know who owns a home, friends who live in your town, all your family, leads generated via social media, new folks you talk to in public, folks you meet at open houses. Stage 2, leads. Who's a lead? Who is not? A lead is a person who knows who you are and says they want to buy or sell a home. Top producers are constantly targeting leads as the primary focus of their business. Don't make the mistake of considering them a lead just because they say they are interested in real estate. A lead is someone who knows you, will probably work with you, and wants to buy or sell a home. You also have their email, their phone number, their home address in your CRM. Helpful tip, when speaking to people about real estate, share a lot about it. Tell them how you analyze properties, what techniques we use to get deals under contract in a hot market, info about taxes, insurance, avoiding PMI. Do this to earn your trust and respect. What I find happens a lot is we're talking to folks and they're like, oh, yo, the market's busy, the market's crazy, houses are selling. The conversation talking points I hear is just the same crap over and over again. So we're going to be practicing bringing up talking points that people aren't talking about. Hey, a lot of folks, think that they can just, a lot of folks out there wanting to buy homes, but have you considered how much taxes are going to be in a property? Have you considered, ways to eliminate or avoid PMI? We'll start practicing these small talking points that we can just keep as tools. So when somebody brings up real estate to us on a surface level, we can take the conversation to a deeper level, which earns their trust and it earns their respect. Stage 2 leads, get the appointment. That is the most important thing we can do with these leads on social media, with folks, friends, family who know us. We want to get them face to face like this because it establishes a bond and it establishes credibility. What traditionally happens in real estate, we might get an internet lead, we might get a friend who says, hey, my friend wants to buy a house. We text, we might call. We don't generally meet up until we start showing them homes. At that point, we've already invested hours of time getting them pre-approved, helping them find the information to get their pre-approval. We spend hours sending them listings, setting them up. What I want us to do is, before we do any of that, we explain to them, we operate like a lawyer or an accountant would. We want to have an appointment with you just so we can explain all the information that is going to be helpful to you before you start searching a home. A good analogy is, hey, you don't go to the doctor and have a surgery without talking to your doctor first. So it's really important that as a system, as a group of professionals here, that before we really start doing a lot of work with these folks, we have a Zoom meeting, we have a face-to-face meeting, and we give a presentation. Just the way this presentation's set up, I'm working on ones for buyers and sellers. We already have our booklet for buyers, but we want to get the appointment. Number one thing we can do is meet face to face. In-person meetings are crucial steps in developing rapport and an emotional connection with a lead. That's a big deal. We want an emotional connection because we all know we're busy. And if somebody's looking to buy a home, they're going to hire the first realtor they talk to, unless that realtor is a total bonehead. Every one of us here is likable. Meeting and talking face to face or via Zoom is going to create this emotional connection. At that point, you're going to get an agreement signed. They're going to work with you. Once someone presents themselves as a lead, not just a person, share less information with them until you meet with them at a face-to-face appointment. Deliver a presentation about what exactly we can do. One of the mistakes I've made in the past is I tell them everything. And then what happens? Well, I know how to do it. What do I need them for? We want to give them just enough information to say, hey, listen, let's spend 15, 20 minutes talking in person or on Zoom, and I'll tell you more about how this works. Use only as much time, energy, and knowledge to secure the appointment, and then blow them away. Get the agreement signed. Appointments and presentations are the tools we use to move leads into the next step in the funnel, the client. We want to practice them once a week with other Sunbay agents. So we start as people, Brivity leads, folks we talk to, meet at open house. They become leads, people who are interested in buying or selling. Maybe it's this year, maybe it's this month, maybe it's this week, but we know they're interested. We want to push these leads to have an appointment. So that way we can get an agreement signed and they become clients. We're going to start practicing talking about these presentations and appointments with other agents. That's what this is here. Agent script play, practice, role play. We all kind of get caught up in, well, I might not be as knowledgeable on one subject or another. The way to get knowledgeable is talking about it more. And I would rather us be practicing it on each other. When trying to get someone into your funnel, the goal is to create interest and trust to get their contact information to put them on the top of your funnel. It's not uncommon for a people or leads to use much of your precious time, knowledge, and energy to turn around and use someone else. This is why the most important skill and step in setting up an appointment is to set up an appointment and give your presentation. Hoping or knowing a client will choose you is wrong. They will always choose the agent who took purposeful actions to move them in the next stage, making them a client. Very important there. Somebody, anyone you know in this market probably knows a couple of realtors. I've had friends use somebody else. Why? Because another realtor was ballsy enough to take these extra steps. They got them to appointments. They showed them the value of using them. In my mind, like, hey, we're friends, they should use me. We can't take any of that for granted. When to get an agreement signed, buyers, before making the introduction to the mortgage lender, before showing them properties, send them the agreement a day or two ahead of time, ask them to review it. So when you review it in person, they're not surprised. You know, we already have the expectations agreement. You know, we'll have a presentation, something we can send to them ahead of time. Hey, take a look at this stuff. Sellers, we want an agreement signed at the listing appointments before giving too much detail about staging, before scheduling an inspector, appraiser, arranging cleaning. Basically at the listing appointment. Where I've gone wrong the listing appointments is, you know, you get there and they spend 30, 40 minutes walking around the house. I tell them all these ideas of what they can do to get their house ready. You know, before you know it, I've already been there hour and a half just lollygagging. We need to get practice in doing our listing presentations. So an ideal listing presentation would be letting them know the day or two in advance, send them the presentation, tell them, hey, here's how it'll go. When I get there, let's just sit down at your kitchen table. We'll tour the house later. I just want to explain to you the process. I want to answer your questions. We don't want to get caught in the trap of walking around someone's house with them because they're going to spend an hour and tell us every little detail. And the truth of the matter is we really don't care. What we care about is teaching them the process involved with selling their house, getting their home ready, and getting our listing agreement signed. We can go through the house later. Stage 3, clients. A client is a lead who has signed an agreement. This is when agents have earned the right to perform services for their newly appointed clients. I say that because we want to earn the right to perform these services. That comes from the idea of friends, family, past clients. We just expect them to use us because we think they should. No, we actually need to earn the right to become the realtor again. And we do that at the appointment, and we do that with the signed agreement. I want everybody thinking of themselves as the same kind of professional as a lawyer, an accountant, or a doctor. They earn the right to call them clients via appointments and via agreements. These are the services agents typically think of: MLS activities, showings, offers, etc. A client is someone who has signed a buyer or seller agreement with an agent. A person or lead does not earn the right to command our full intention until after they have signed the appropriate paperwork. What's happened, and it's happened to all of us, is we get leads who they want showings, they want to know about this. Hey, can you call the listing agent and find out about the roof? Hey, can you help me with the mortgage? Can you help me get this pre-approval? Hey, this, that, texting, calling 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And we don't even have an agreement signed with them. We can't let the folks bully us around. Instead, we want to set a professional relationship right off the front. And that has to happen with an appointment and an agreement signed up front. Most agents offer their services without expecting a commitment in return. This leads to quickly wasting time and running out of energy and resources that should be directed towards revenue generated activities. Focus on giving the leads just enough attention and information to make them want to work with you. Our top goal is to set an appointment and deliver a stellar presentation that shows them why we're the best option. All right, so now we'll take a quick mental break. So I did something kind of fun here. We've got 3 homes, right? Number 1, number 2, number 3. I want to see if you guys can name this style of home. Here's the answer bank. So just at your own accord, take a look at these. Write down what you think they are, or just make a mental note of it. And then we'll go around and ask people what they think it is. All right, so shout out your answers. What do you think number 1 is?
Did you say my name? Sorry.
Sure.
It's number 1. I'm saying it's a,
And I was tricky on these, so I'm trying to stump you all.
I'm thinking it could be a cross between a Cape Cod and a cottage, actually.
Okay. Okay. Lori, what are your answers? Chris?
I just guessed Cape Cod is the first one.
Okay. All right. What do y'all think about number 2?
That's a colonial.
Colonial? Chris?
I'll say contemporary.
Lori? All right. Number 3. Sharon?
Victorian.
Chris?
Victorian.
Lori? I concur, Lori. All right, number 1 is a Cape Cod. A Cape Cod is a low, broad, single-story frame, traditionally single-story, with a moderately steep and gabled roof, usually a large chimney. Very symmetrical design. It all matches. It features a central front door flanked by multi-pane windows. Here's a quick video about it.
Better. Cape Cod houses are sometimes referred to as 1.5-story homes or salt box homes. Just like those from long ago, classic Cape Cod.
Does that sound weird to you guys?
No?
Okay.
Homes are simple in design and feature common qualities and characteristics, including a distinctive steep roofline accented with dormers and side gables to help protect against stormy weather, wood shingles or clapboard siding, a centered entry door and simple window shutters, hardwood flooring, a central chimney to warm surrounding rooms, a rectangular or symmetrical boxy floor plan with the first floor typically featuring a kitchen, living room, dining room, 1 to 2 bedrooms, and a bathroom. The upstairs, if finished, usually consists of 2 bedrooms. If the roof has dormers, it can make them slightly larger and adds light. And if the entire back roof has a shed dormer, the bedrooms can be quite large. The garage is often detached and positioned toward the back of the house. Capes are commonly inexpensive and range from 1,000 square feet to 1,350 square feet. One thing to consider when viewing a Cape Cod is the bathroom location. Often older Capes only have a bath on the first floor, which requires the frequent use of stairs for those using an upstairs bedroom. Families looking to use all bedrooms will need to be comfortable with bedrooms being split between 2 floors. For added living space, a Cape can be renovated either by attic expansion or first floor addition, achieving balance with the right design and detail. Overall, a Cape Cod home typically appeals to first-time homeowners on a budget, seniors looking for the most living areas on one level, and anyone looking for a traditional and easily manageable home. The Cape Cod is a classic style that has warmed the hearts of Americans for more than 200 years. We hope this video has been of a Better Homes and Gardens.
All right. Yeah, I couldn't hear it, like, because I got these cheap earphones, so I heard the music playing. I couldn't hear her talking. You guys could hear her talking okay?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate understands.
Uh-oh. Number 2, where are we at? Number 2 was a colonial. Correct answer. General colonial homes are simple and rectangular. The exterior is incredibly symmetrical, so much that one side of the house almost mirrors the other. Most colonial homes are 2 stories, but there are some that are 1.5. They're mostly built with side gabled hip roofs with chimneys on either side or in the middle. You'll notice porticitos embellished with columns or decorative molding. Most layouts, you'll see the front door open to a formal foyer and a distinguished staircase, usually constructed from wood. Let's see what the lady has to say.
Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate understands that when searching for your next home, it's important to know Better Homes. While there are many colonial styles, including the Federal, Saltbox, and Garrison, the Center Hall Colonial is considered by many as the true colonial and is universally marketed the most. Floor plans for this home were designed with both simplicity and efficiency in mind. Center Hall Colonial style homes share several characteristics: a symmetrical rectangular floor plan, entry door that can be found in the middle of the front of the home, 2 or more windows on either side of the entry door, typically 5 windows on the second floor with 1 directly above the entry door, an entry to a center foyer which typically has a hall leading back to the kitchen and a stairway leading to the second floor. Upon entry, a living room off to one side, usually with a fireplace and a dining room off to the other side. To the back of the house, a kitchen and another room adjacent to the kitchen, such as a den or family room. On the second floor, usually 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, a deck or patio, and a 2-car garage. Although there have been some stylistic changes to the colonial house, the main theme of the house remains the same. Depending on the geographic area and finishes, Center Hall Colonials can vary greatly in price. They still remain very appealing to home buyers, especially families, because of the bedrooms tucked away upstairs with the living space all on the first floor. Another appeal of the Colonial is the ability to easily renovate and add additions for more living space. Very often you'll find that the rear of the home has been expanded for a larger kitchen and great room, which then supports an upstairs master bedroom suite. The attic level can also sometimes be made into a 3rd floor with dormers, provided there's adequate height. Though the Center Hall Colonial is getting bigger and with more variations, it will never go out of fashion with homeowners. We hope this video has been of assistance to you. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate.
And the last one, everybody's right, a Victorian style home. These are usually the easier to spot. They're 2 to 3 stories with tall windows and porches. They have the detailed ornamentation that almost always border along the top. We call that gingerbread. I love gingerbread. Have steep pitched roofs and large wraparound porches. They are often adorned with differing wall textures and ornate trim, which gives them the gingerbread effect. A lot of times they have octagonal towers topped with a round pointed roof and ornate bay windows. So this one has it.
Product of an era when Queen Victoria ruled Britain from 1837 to 1901. Because it's not a specific style, these homes can feature a variety of layouts and uses of material. Victorians took home design very seriously. The more elaborate the home, the greater the owner's wealth and social standing. There are a variety of Victorian home styles, including the Gothic Revival, Italianate, Stick, Second Empire, and the most popular in the United States, the Queen Anne, with its steep gabled roofs, elaborate gingerbread trim, bay windows, and circular towers. Despite the variety of distinctive styles, all Victorians emphasize similar decorative elements inside and outside with complex facades and floor plans. Here are some of the more common distinguishing features of a Victorian house. Asymmetrical vertical facade, 2 or 3 stories, textured sheathing using shingles, board and batten siding, or mixed materials. Steep roof, usually pitched or mansard. Deep eaves, often with decorative carved brackets. Cupolas, turrets, dormers, bay windows, and oriels. Single-story asymmetrical porch, usually wrapping around one or more sides. Complex floor plan with wings and bays. Highly decorative. Polychromatic exterior. Decorative stained glass. Carved fireplaces. Heavy carved double doors. There are as many floor plans for Victorian houses as there are substyles. But many freestanding Victorian homes are based on a central hall plan or an L or T-shaped layout. While many are square or rectangular in plan, most have setbacks, wings, and bays that make the layout complex. Given the popularity of Victorian homes, many have already been restored to their original beauty and upgraded for every modern comfort. Before purchasing a Victorian, find an inspector who specializes in historic homes. Unlike many of the mass-produced cookie-cutter homes, a Victorian-style home provides a truly unique ambiance and personality with its many adornments. We hope this video has been of assistance to you. Once again, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate is proud to offer
Okay, so we've talked about people. We lead generate within the folks, within the people we know. We convince them of the good reasons why we need to have an appointment. From there, we get our signed buyer agreement, seller agreement. They become clients. We start showing them houses, boom, we get them under contract. Now, what I want to kind of show here is what happens a lot for me, and I'm sure a lot of everyone else, is we get 2-3 weeks in, nothing's happening. We start losing focus. We start becoming kind of unsure what we should be doing. The purpose of this system here, the sales funnel, is to always give us something to go back to. What are we doing now? Are we working on people, leads, clients, contracts, closing? Anything we do throughout the day, when we're focused on real estate, we should be able to relate it in one way or another to the sales funnel. One of my distractions is I love doing marketing. I love creating these spreadsheets and these presentations. And truth of the matter is, it's not related to any of these topics. I do it because I enjoy doing it. I'm a broker. I have to do this stuff. But it's just something that I know that I get distracted. The sales funnel should always be a fallback plan for us to know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how it relates to this. This is going to be one of our marquee systems we go over and over and over and over again. These presentations I created, we're essentially going to, one way or another, go over them once a week. You know, right now I'm doing this, but everyone's going to have a chance to give this presentation. The goal of it is to not just teach you guys one thing one time, then we move on. If I make one of these presentations, this is going to become a fundamental aspect of our business that we just continue to grow in knowledge. I can read my books and I can read information about this and I retain 20% of it. But if I read this stuff knowing that I'm going to put it into a presentation to teach people, I'm probably going to retain 50%. Same with you guys. You'll hear this now, you'll get 25%. But if you know you're going to be given this presentation or talking through it, you'll retain 50, 60%. The more we talk about it, the more this becomes ingrained in our head. So we're at stage 4 now, we're at contracts. A funnel is only effective if the person that's funneling is consistently moving down. If there's a log jam in the funnel, you'll be forced to slow down the activities in order to move people down. You must get your leads under contract to get paid. Here's my system to get leads under contract. Buyers become leads. I sent a Zoom appointment. Prepare and send them a day or two before the presentation of buyer group. Send them a day or two before the appointment, the presentation, and the agreement. Meet in Zoom or in person. Go into your presentation. Answer questions as they come. Review the buyer's agreement. Ask what more questions they have. Then we want to set up listing alerts, keep in contact to see what they like, schedule showings, put them in touch with the mortgage lender. Offer. Notify the agent ahead of time that we are submitting an offer. Ask them how many offers they have. Inform the buyers of the best offer to make. Don't let them drive the bus. Explain the market conditions and what it takes to get the home. The thought process behind that is every buyer wants a deal. The house is 300 and they're like, well, let's just offer 275 and see what happens. It's frustrating and it's a waste of time. I've gone back and forth on approaches to offers. When I wasn't as confident as I am now, I would ask them what they want to offer, and I still do. But that's the wrong approach. What we should be doing, because they're trusting us, and let's say they like the house, they want to make an offer. My suggestion, what I do now, and what you guys do is, hey, listen, I'm sure you have an idea of what you want to offer to get this home. Let me just tell you my personal and professional advice. I talked to the realtor, they have multiple offers. If you want to get this house, you're going to have to go in full price. You're going to have to go above price. You're going to have to, waive some contingencies. Whatever it may be, I think it's better we drive the bus and we tell them what the best offer is going to be to get them inside of the home. And then from there, let them negotiate us down. What happens typically, you show a buyer a home, it's 300 grand. They're like, well, I want to offer 275. We just lost all our negotiating because now we're negotiating with our own clients. And you better believe we negotiate with our own clients just as much as we negotiate with the person on the other side. So my suggestion is you guys tell them what offer you would go with first, and then let them negotiate you down, not the other way around. Construct the offer and then email them the read-only version. Call and review, send an electronic version to sign. I know going over offers and contracts is a big thing in a lot of your minds. I'm working on putting together one of these presentations for contracts as well. Email the offer to the agent. Text the agent. Explain it'll come from name@Sunbay Real Estate email address. In the email, ask for a quick reply that it's received so you know they got it. I've sent email contracts or offers to agents and they never see it because it goes to their spam for one reason or another. It's embarrassing to have to tell your client the listing agent never saw your offer. I've had agents call me pissed off because I didn't acknowledge their offer. You know why? I don't look at my spam folder. Who does? Every listing I have, when I get more than 3 or 4 offers, there's almost always an offer in the spam folder. Sure, I can make a habit to look at it, and now that I'm aware, I do. But when you're in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking spam. It's very important that you call the realtor before you submit the offer, find out how many offers they got, but also ask them other questions. Hey, what's important to your seller? Of course they want top dollar, I get it. Do they need to move soon? Do they need more time to stay in a house? Are they interested in a lease back? Find out what's important to that seller. When you're talking to the agent, build a rapport with the agent. Compliment them on how much time they spent preparing the house for sale. Hey, I walked through that house, listing agent, and I could tell that you helped them clean. I could tell you helped them stage. It showed beautifully. Like, those are the little things that most agents don't notice. If you point it out, that agent's gonna like you. I'm not saying flattery. I don't do flattery. I'm not saying we kiss their ass. But as agents, we know how hard it takes to prepare houses. And if you notice it, tell them. If you notice the photos are good, tell them. Complimenting goes a long way, especially when it comes to building rapport, especially when it comes to getting houses under contract in this market. Very important in the email and the text when you tell them, they just hit reply that they received the contract. Next, do a group text with the listing agent, the lender, yourself. Introduce them, ask your lender to explain how qualified the buyer's financials are. John Howard gave me this idea. So after I've already submitted the offer, after I've texted the agent, then I do a group text. Hey, listing agent, this is John Howard. He is the mortgage lender for, Benny the buyer. John, can you please explain to the listing agent how qualified Benny the buyer is? John jumps in, or any other mortgage lender would jump in. Very important to do this via text, by the way, not email, text. You can do it in email, but I recommend text. John or the other lender would jump in. Hey, I've already ran through their financials. They're squared away, they're solid. The reason we do this is because the listing agent is going to get 5 offers. How many of those agents put them in touch with the lender ahead of time? A good listing agent, we know to call the mortgage lenders to verify the buyer's financials. Do we usually do it? Not always. Have I always done it? No. I got 10 offers. What does it matter? Think about it from the other perspective. We want our buyers' offer to be noticed. I'm not having troubles this year putting buyers under contracts because I do all these extra steps. And these are the systems that I want you guys to use. Of course, 12, check with the agent until the offer is accepted. Advise the buyer to make other offers on properties until one gets accepted. There may be some contention with some of y'all on this. I used to feel odd about it. The same way a seller receives multiple offers from buyers, I am now advising buyers, if they like 2 houses, make offers on both. I've had too many clients do one at a time, and they'd waste 3-4 days on one house and move on to the next. So let's say they make 2 offers and they both get accepted verbally. Then what? Well, hey, at that point, we see which one they really want. And then we just apologize to the other agent and we just be honest with them. Hey, they submitted multiple offers. We're not trying to waste your time, but your seller's getting multiple offers. The buyer needs to find a home. Most agents respect that and they get it. And they're not upset because they've got 9 other offers. That's just one of the weird things in the business some people like, some people feel uncomfortable doing. I'm not in the business of my feelings. I'm in the business of getting the clients what they want, and that's a house. Boom. We do all those extra steps, get the client under contract. Now we're into the closing portion. Change your view of your business by understanding this. As you improve your tools and consistently move more and more clients down the funnel, you will find yourself with more closing, which means more income. Thanks to your leads provided by your ever increasing closing, the more people you run through the funnel, the more prospects you'll have at the top. In other words, it's a self-sustaining ecosystem. More people turn into more leads, which turn into more clients and more closings. These closings then refer you again. Right now, our database of people is small. But if we keep going back to this system, it'll grow larger and larger and larger. Momentum is an incredibly powerful part of building a successful real estate business. Understanding how everything relates to the sales funnel will make your business more profitable and ultimately more sustainable. So what I want us doing as we're doing projects, we're working with clients, we're doing something, just keep going back to this image. There's a reason why this image is on every page. And that's because I want us to keep going back and thinking, what can I do to move people down these funnels? A daily routine needs to be going through our Brivity and our CRM and scrolling through each person and thinking, what can I do to get this person to become a lead? You know, what, okay, so they're already leads in your CRM. We're past that. That's why they're there. So what can I do to this person to convince them to meet with me in person? What can I do with this person to convince them, hey, let's have a 15-minute Zoom? What'll happen is you'll check in with these leads and you might, hey, what's going on? Do you have any questions about interest rates? And they're going to say, yeah, and they're going to have a big question. You know, you could answer via text easily, or you can provide better service and say, hey, You know, when you get off work, when we hop on a 15-minute Zoom call, always be finding ways to meet in person or to do a Zoom call. I recommend Zoom calls. Meeting in person is just tough for everybody. We're all busy. So when we have leads who have not signed agreements asking us questions, show off your value by giving them a little information. And then say, listen, I'm going to answer a lot more of your questions if we just hop on a 15-minute Zoom call. They're going to appreciate it. We're going to answer their questions. We're going to make them feel confident in working with us. We're going to build an emotional connection. And more importantly, just as important, is we're going to go over our expectations agreement. We're going to get it signed. They're going to become our official clients. All right. You want as many people as possible to know that you're successful, that you successfully get your agents to the closing table. So you get closings. You want everyone to know this. I don't do it well enough, but I'll start. You want to post about successful transactions on Facebook, include a couple photos. Tag in your clients in the Facebook post so their followers see the news. Highlight some success stories of the deal to show others what you can do. This is where a lot of us fail, including me. I'll post photos of a house just sold, just sold. What does the average person care? They don't. Instead, let me tell the story. I had a recent closing where they found me on a HUD website and she called me and says she has 40 days to move out of a rental property. She's never bought a home before. She's scared. Jeff, help me. Can you help me? Yes, I can. I got her in touch with a down payment assistance program. I took somebody who never thought she could own a home and got her in a home. Those are the stories people want to hear. Hey, you want to tell your friends and family about the closing? Bring it up at meals, while you're drinking, while you're hanging out. Be quick to move on and simply plant a seed. You know, you're sitting at dinner. Hey, how's it going? You know, things are going pretty well. One of my clients, boom, you know, we're going to be closing in 2 weeks. We sent them a bunch of properties, made a couple offers. I called the listing agent. I did this X, Y, and Z to make it stand out. Now they're under contract. Now they're closing soon. Boom. The other person's going to be excited to hear about it, but then quickly move on. Asking for referrals from clients when you deliver the keys. I'm working on a system where we're going to be asking for referrals 4 to 5 times from clients. The key times to do it is when they're most excited. Like the first time we ask for referrals is, let's say we get them pre-approved for a mortgage. Boom, they're excited, they're ready to look at homes. Hey, do you know anyone else who I can put in touch with a mortgage lender to get them pre-approved? Next, you get them under contract to purchase the home. They're excited. Again, ask, hey, do you have any friends who are going to need a realtor this year? Do you know anyone else who wants to buy a home this year? I always say this year. I don't say, who's your next that's going to buy or sell a home too much. I go, do you know anybody who needs a realtor this year? Do you know somebody who's going to be selling their home next year? Asking for, asking for a referral when you get them pre-approved, asking for a referral when you get them under contract, asking them for a referral when the appraisal is good, and then asking them for a referral at closing 4 times. Sellers, when you call to congratulate them. So with a seller, you ask for a referral when you get it on the market. You ask for a referral after you get it under contract. You ask them for a referral right around closing time. Tell everyone in your sphere about your successful transaction. When they say, hey, what's new? What's going on with you? Arranging a pizza party to be delivered to your client's workplace for all their coworkers to see. I've never done it, but I like the idea. Introduce yourself to the neighbors and informing them that a house was sold, what the price was, and how many offers you received. So this is something, you know, let's say you're doing inspections or, you know, what the book taught that was really good. It says for your buyers when they're moving to show up on moving day. Maybe you're there to help, or maybe you're there just to bring them some pizzas and food. This is a huge lead generation opportunity because everybody struggles on moving day and it typically has their friends and family with them on moving day. This is an amazing opportunity to show up, bring some boxes, bring some cold refreshments. Maybe you see neighbors, talk to the neighbors about the house that they just bought. sending them a closing gift to congratulate them on their new purchase. Oh, okay. So let's say you have a house and you're the listing agent. Those buyers become what's called an orphan client. Most buyers agents don't keep up. I think I keep up with 30% of my past buyers. I'm changing that. Any one of my listings I've sold, I have now entered the buyers into my CRM. I send them a congratulations card and I treat them as if they were my client. Their realtor is going to fall out of touch with them. Huge potential business long term by taking these clients who've been ghosted by their realtors and letting them see how well you do. By sharing the news of your success, you increase the number of people who hear your name and see your prowess. Key points, we're at the end here. So introduction to the sales funnel. Plan your day by thinking which spots in the funnel each person or lead you have in your CRM. Scroll your CRM daily. Make notes of what you can do to move them further down the funnel. The two jobs of every agent are to put people at the top of the funnel and move them down the funnel. Step one, people, add as many people to your CRM as possible. Anytime someone mentions real estate, add them. They may not be ready now, but when they are, they will look for the closest agent to hire. Be close. This is probably in my next presentation another day, but an analogy they gave is when we all walk into a furniture store, there's somebody there to greet us. Hey, what are you looking for today? No, I'm good. I'm just looking. What we all do, we don't want to be bothered. We're looking around the store. Finally, we see something we really like. Do we go look for that first person to talk to us? Usually no. We look around. The first person near us is who we're going to ask for that. They get the deal. Same thing with real estate. They're not going to be loyal to the first person who talked to them about real estate. They're going to be loyal to the closest one to them when they're ready to buy a house or sell a house. So what I do when folks mention needing a realtor, buying and selling real estate, even if it's just in passing and just in jest, hey, oh yeah, I want to buy a house next year when the market cools off. I email myself and say, this person is interested. Then I add them to my CRM and I keep in touch. Anybody who presents themselves as a potential client needs to go in your CRM. Give these folks knowledge to gain your trust. Always push for an appointment to show off your presentation. Doctors, lawyers, dentists don't provide their services for free. As a licensed professional, you shouldn't either. Of course, we're for free until we get closed, but we're not going to be working with folks willy-nilly. We need to have our agreements in place. Step two, funnel two, leads. These are people who have expressed interest in buying or selling a home. Push for an appointment, get a signed agreement, convert them into clients. Understanding the tools needed to move someone down the funnel from one classification to the next will bring a clear sense of direction to your day. Stage three, clients. A client is a lead who has signed an agreement. Before introducing to a lender or an inspector, get the agreement signed. Explain why it's important to get it signed so that you can loyally dedicate 100% of your attention to them. Step four, stage four, contracts. Best practice to get from lead to contract, to a Zoom or in-person meeting to get them from a person or a lead to a client. Get the agreement signed, show the houses, explain them the offers. Contact the listing agent, inform them you want to submit an offer. Ask if they have others. Text the agent a notice you have emailed them an offer. Tell them it's going to come from name@sunbayrealestate.com. Hey, can you please confirm that you received this offer? Create a group introduction text with the listing agent and the lender. Follow up with the listing agent. Very important. Ask what you can do to improve your offer. Hey, listing agent, I know you got 50 offers and I know mine's up there. Is there anything that we can do to improve it? Because we will. We only make money if we bring a prospect all the way from closing, all the way from people at the top of the funnel to closing at the bottom. Bringing them 99% of the way will earn you nothing. Closings. More closings means more money. More money means more opportunities to add more people to your CRM and sales funnel. Build and keep momentum going by planning your day around moving folks down the funnel. Tell the world about your successful closing. Post it on social media, send closing gifts, help them move, ask for referrals. So at this point, the end. So it's a lot of information, but let's kind of have a conversation. What are some things you guys learned? Some things you guys are excited about? Some things you want more clarification about? Sharon? Lori?
I like actually as soon as I get but it just reminded me when you said about the orphan buyer, because I've slacked off on that a bit. So as soon as I get my business cards, the closing that I just had last week, I'm reaching out to them and I'll continue to follow. Actually, I put them in my in the CRM.
Yeah. Glad you bring it up. I've got your business cards. I have a whole box.
Awesome.
I also have a whole box of thank you cards, closing cards. Of course, you guys can use mine. You can buy your own. But so that was the big idea that came to you, is reaching out to your past clients that have bought your listings.
I also like the, I think I'm going to do a post. And actually, I haven't done a post on my regular Facebook for that closing. I think I'm going to switch it up because just like you just mentioned, usually I'll just put just sold with nothing like else, but probably put something of value in there. And then I think I'm going to do another post, which would probably be a good idea for all of us. Like do a post with just the picture of our home buyer book, and put out there, hey, for more information, I can send you the PDF format, who's looking to buy, stuff like that.
I like that. I like what you said. Do a couple posts. So let's say you do one post, hey, I just sold this home, and it's just some pictures of the home. And then another post could be pictures of the home, but the story of what you did to help them get that home. And another post, or you can tie it in as a picture of the presentation. So there's 3 opportunities there.
Yeah, I like that.
I would challenge you a little bit more on the orphan clients. I would challenge you to go through, your listings, just run an MLS search and of the last, say, 5 years. And I would.
Oh, good idea. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, go through the last 5 years on MLS, and then go to their property appraiser, get their first and last name, enter them into your CRM under past clients, and
mail them something.
Mail them something.
Because they may be ready to sell.
What we have that we'll be doing is called a home equity statement. It's just a single page that says this is what your home is probably worth now. I did the summer session. I'll be doing the fall, but that's a great way to send them some value. So I would challenge you to do it for the last 5 years, because you've had a lot of listings.
Yeah, good idea. And where do you get the is there something that spits out that information to make it easier for us, where we don't have to do a lot of legwork, like some report that's like automatically generated? What do you use?
I'll show you. So we go to shared Sunbay folder, go to transactions, go to mailable CMAs. From here, you got the seller's template. Just make a copy. Copy of seller of template. Open this up. From here, this is already here. So you just put your name in there, put your info, change the owner's name, change their address. And let's see if this comes up. But I'll just do a screenshot of the MLS map, you know, right here, boom, do a screenshot of this. Once you link to what, you limit down to what their listings are on the single agent line, do a screenshot of that. And that's it. You just
Oh,
gotta fill
okay.
in the info, put these screenshots in, and then you just come up with what you think their potential sales price would be. What you think their potential equity could be.
Okay. And then
Okay,
how
s-
do we get out, like, so for this particular listing that I just sold last week, and then how do we go about doing like postcards within that community? Like, hey, I just sold your neighbor's home.
Prospectplus.com. This is what I use to send out postcards. So you can go and make some here. You can also very quickly do them on Brivity. I don't know how well that they can, I know they do, yeah, they do just sold. We go to marketing, go to Marketor.
Is this through Brivity?
This is Brivity. Yep. Just sold postcard. And then here, you know,
I think
63
I think I tried to go in there and I don't have access to that, it said.
all right, yeah, try it again. If it doesn't work, let me know. But yeah, I like that. I if you're gonna send them a just sold postcard, my suggestion would be do it with the mindset that you're gonna keep sending these people stuff once a month.
I'm sorry,
I said with postcards, you know, when folks get one postcard in the mail, it's not all that effective. So if you want to start sending just sold to everyone in the neighborhood, I would do it with the mindset that you're going to be sending them stuff once a month. And we'll talk more about it, but I think you would have better success instead of sending out 100 postcards. I would pick just the houses on that street. And this is something I've done in the past and I'm going to do again. I just pick 10 or 15 houses. I write on an
Right,
envelope,
right.
and then I just I type up a letter like, hey, I just sold this house. Here's what I did, and sending them something specifically. It all just depends on how much time you want to put into it. But going back to, you know, just finding all your orphan clients and reaching out to them, that'll be huge.
all right, Jeff, I have a question.
Yeah.
So my cleaning lady who the house, I told you that whole story. So I want to send her like a CMA. Should I do what you had just suggested?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. Because then this, when you're done, you go file, download, PDF.
Yeah.
And then it looks really nice.
Okay. Perfect. And then I can just email it to her
Mm-hmm. Email it and mail it out as well.
and then mail a hard copy to her. Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. I will do that.
Sharon, did you have any thoughts come up there in the presentation?
I did, and now I can't remember what they were. It was really good though. It's
Yeah.
Did you get it from Ninja, or where did you get this from?
So I read a book, this book,
Okay,
and then I just make notes. So, for example, if you guys go to training folder,
Okay,
and you go to the training presentations, you're gonna see the presentation. I don't see my, oh, and then one sales funnel. So I would just highlight things, and then I came onto this sheet and I just started making all the notes of the stuff that I thought was useful. And then from here, I went through, read it again, and then I added in more details. And then I took this to create the presentation. So I made it.
that's good.
So this is what I like. I've been realizing, okay, I'm doing a lot of trainings and teachings with you guys, but it's haphazard and there's nothing for you guys to go back to. So now when we do trainings and presentations, it's going to have this that you guys can print out ahead of time. It's going to have a copy of this so you can go through it again, because whatever comes in here, lead generation, daily routines, everyone's going to be giving these presentations. And I put a lot of time into it. Like this whole break here for, naming the houses. I don't know my house styles that well. Everyone can get a better understanding of them. And it's just a nice mental break. So a lot of thought went into creating these. So thank you for noticing and saying that it was good.
That was really good.
You know what I'll suggest next time is, you guys will know ahead of time what the presentation is. So you just go into the training presentation folder and you can just print off all the notes if you want, or you can print off the slides. I don't know if you want to do that because it's going to take up a lot of ink. But at least just having a notebook with you to take notes.
Yeah. Okay. So I struggle with Zoom technology. Okay. I struggle with that. And I don't take selfies or anything like that. So I don't know. I guess I'm self-conscious when I'm talking to other people, not face to face. I'm really good with face to face, but when I'm talking to a computer, I don't know, I feel like an idiot. So I guess that's something I have to overcome.
So did you see my video disappear?
Yeah.
When you do this, you can do the same. Nobody sees you. Nobody knows anything. I won't record and share your guys' presentations. Or, let's say we're in person and we're doing it. The point of you guys giving the presentations isn't to share it. It's just for you guys to present the information so you solidify it deeper in your brain housing group.
Yeah, because practice makes perfect. So.
Yep.
All right.
What about you, Chris? What thoughts did you have?
I thought it was very good information. Like I said, every time I come here, I learn something from you. And it kind of addressed, well, it's very similar than one of the presentations that we had at a management class about how you funnel the business down. And you showed that on a couple of slides, how other businesses use it. So I'd seen the funnel before, but never applied it to the business. So it does make a lot of sense. I think the part that I'm struggling most with now is on the Brivity leads, is to try to get them to move down the funnel, because people are, well, I have one that responded to the auto Brivity email, our text message that said, I would hate to be texting the wrong person. So could you just let me know you're the right, you're so-and-so. And she responded back right away in all caps saying, oh, so now you're going to hate me? And I'm like, oh no, that's not what that was supposed to meant. And now you're gonna hate me, was the in all caps. And I'm like, oh geez. So I sent her a very nice response. No, it wasn't hating you. I would hate to bother. It was just, I don't want to bother you if you're not the right person that was looking for a home on our website. And she responded back, oh, and she gave me a area, just 2 street names that are near Busch Gardens. So I've texted her a couple of times and tried to call her, but I can't seem to talk to her. And I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to understand her anyway from the way she was typing. So That's
Well-
that's the only frustrating part. I was glad to hear that Sharon got a win and she's moving along with somebody in Brevity, because I haven't been able to get that yet.
Yeah, hopefully it pans out. So
Yeah,
fingers crossed, everybody.
What I've
That's-
noticed about with the Brevity auto replies, there's a lot we can do better, and we're gonna do better.
is there a way to change those replies to
Yeah.
something more? Okay, that's what I need
Yeah.
to dig in and look at.
Yeah, what I've been creating somewhere is just a instead of what they do is like what response, like what text can we send out better? So I'm trying to provide value. Like one of them may say, hey, have you talked to a lender yet about getting pre-approved? Or it may be, hey, are you a veteran? Or it may be,
Oh, yeah.
hey, do you like just asking questions that shows off information that they may want.
Mhm.
So we'll improve it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want people to think I'm hating them.
No, you're a likable guy. You don't hate no one.
Yeah, I ended up putting several of mine on the pause because I wasn't hearing back from them, or